Gettysburg Leadership Encounter is an opportunity for the Naval Academy to prepare midshipmen for their upcoming roles as leaders in the brigade. The encounter is a 2-day leader development experience where varsity team captains and midshipmen company, battalion, regiment, and brigade commanders come together for an immersive leadership experience. The Gettysburg battlefield is unique. The battlefield is hallowed ground and maintains a special place in our nation's and military's history. The leadership on the battlefield from 1 to 3 July 1863 provide the midshipmen an opportunity to study not only actions of the generals of the Army of the Potomac and Army of Northern Virginia, but also their character. Issues of initiative, trust, loyalty, selflessness, and courage were critical to the successes and failures during the 3-day battle.
As soon as we got off the buses, I was told that I was going to be the scout and I was going to have to be the person to relay the information to the team captains that were arriving in like 10 minutes, and that was kind of nerve-wracking and put me in a situation that I'm not used to being in, because I had to run, find the team captains, and then describe to them what was going on in the battle and where we were supposed to be.
The midshipmen had the opportunity to engage in battle study of 3 distinct parts of the Gettysburg engagement. The 1 July 1863 Battle for McPherson's Ridge, the 2 July 1863 Battle for Little Round Top, and the culminating engagement of 3 July 1863, where General Lee of the Army of Northern Virginia ordered the now infamous Pickett's Charge.
But your immediate threat is an Army Corps coming in from the west, and they're engaging you on this ridge. This is where you are right now. Her Ridge, McPherson's Ridge, Seminary Ridge, the large ridge behind you, and there's nothing but a drop-off and the town of Gettysburg past that until you get to more favorable terrain, which you know the Army really wants to occupy when it gets up here.
"I'm about to order a charge," he said, his voice rising above the battle din. "We are to make a great right wheel." He stepped towards the colors and mounted a small rock. "Fix bayonets." The sound of bayonets clinking echoed down the line. The men of the 20th Maine preparing for what could be the last moments of their lives. "Forward!" The 20th Maine charged down the hill.
150 years ago, July 1st to July 3rd. Think about those lessons of leadership and the decisions that those military professionals had to make. I want you to critically think about the decision-making process that they had, the attributes of those leaders. And over the next couple weeks and months, I want you to reflect on that and how you can apply those lessons to your future roles as leaders, not only in the brigade, but in the Navy and Marine Corps. The Gettysburg Leadership Encounter uses the backdrop of the battlefield to guide students through a series of 3 seminars. The seminars discuss a leader's role in navigating through loyalty conflicts, ensuring leaders recognize the institutional standards that they are charged with upholding, and most importantly, developing a climate of action where leaders recognize that to be effective, they must be proactive with their leadership. Leadership by example is necessary, but not sufficient.
Or to take any action on that. And so what I mean by be excellent is 3 ways: is be excellent to yourself, be excellent to each other, and be excellent to this place.
I think the biggest thing that the Gettysburg Encounter did was it allowed all the team captains and the commanders to get together at one turf, really meaningful turf, I guess, if you will, or site, which is Gettysburg. It has a lot of meaning within our country, and especially in the military. For a school like this, that's, that meant a lot. It allowed us to actually see each other, interact. Most people we've seen before and been able to interact with here already, but it really gave us a chance to kind of hammer out any misconceptions we had about each other and build a friendship and an understanding for what we needed to do for the team standpoint and then from a brigade standpoint and figuring out where those lines connected.
And that's the notion that we all ultimately work together. Obviously the Civil War was fought. It was clear that the best outcome for everybody was that we come together, okay? We each have our own agendas, we have our own wishes and orientations, priorities, even chains of command, okay? But ultimately our mission at the Naval Academy is served by the leaders in the room today, you guys, the leaders in the brigade, working as one.
Well, since we've been here, standards have been highly enforced at the Naval Academy, but after the Gettysburg experience, it helped raise my standard because you learn the bar that you have to set as a team captain, and not only you have to try and perform the best, but you have to lead by example, and your peers will follow you, and your subordinates will follow you as well. So if you hold yourself to the highest standard, you give your team the best chance for success.
My favorite quote from the seminar was that standards are the threshold between suck and success. And that really emphasizes that we shouldn't just be trying to meet those standards, we should try to exceed those standards and go up above and beyond. And I thought that was a great point.
Loyalty is huge on our team and on teams throughout the yard. Being loyal to a teammate means that you're committed to that family, and that family goes beyond what we do at Navy Women's Soccer. It reaches all spectrums to the Naval Academy and to the Navy at large. So.
Loyalty is a very big part within the brigade. There's a lot of trouble that happens within the realms of loyalty, but we learned that loyalty poorly applied can take little tests of integrity into big ethical dilemmas.
The encounter changed the way I think about taking action in my role as a leader, and that to stand by and do nothing and be silent is the worst thing you can probably do. And you should speak up and stand your ground and enforce rules, and you might not seem cool at first, but eventually people will respect you for speaking up.
Action is the toughest part out of the 3 seminars, I think, because sometimes it takes change, and with change you're going to get resistance. That's one of the biggest challenges I've faced so far. If I'm willing to take the action to, let's say, set a new standard in academics on the team or change our goals a little bit, the team may resist to that at first, but that's a risk that we're willing to take, and that's how you raise the standard.
The Gettysburg Leadership Encounter also moved midshipmen out of their comfort zone. Through the cooperative efforts of the Sexual Assault Prevention and Response Coordinator and the Alcohol and Drug Education Officer at the Naval Academy, the Gettysburg Encounter used facilities located at Gettysburg College, including a mock bar scene and a mock fraternity house, to role-play serious issues that leaders in the Brigade of Midshipmen will encounter, such as underage drinking, responsive use of alcohol for those who are 21 years of age, drinking and driving, and sexual assault.
The experience we had at Little Round Top.
Definitely the run to Little Round Top.
The Battle of Little Round Top.
And we ran to the Little Round Top.
Definitely the run up to Little Round Top. We were the only ones out there, and the sun was coming up, and it was very, very emotional.
And to probably the early morning run that we had to the battlefield while the sun was rising, and a couple of people did the reenactments, and it was a very surreal experience, and it was definitely a privilege to be able to experience something like that.
Perhaps the most important outcome of the Gettysburg Leadership Encounter is that the students have an opportunity to meet and discuss the issues that they will be facing as a team of leaders.
It was an awesome opportunity. It was one of the best 3 days of my Naval Academy experience so far, and a great way for me to connect with my classmates and gain some confidence before I headed into my season this fall.
At the end of the day, I was completely surprised, and it definitely made you think what your leadership philosophy was going to be like as a team captain, and what kind of situations you may face, whether it's moral, ethical decisions that you might have to make as a team captain. And it encompassed every aspect that you could possibly fathom as a team captain, and basically just prepared you better for the experience and made you more prepared overall going into your season.
It truly was a great opportunity. It takes a special person to be a team captain, I think, and a company commander. So the fact that all those people were brought together at the same place, they stopped all their summer training to just go in and talk about leadership, I think it was a very powerful thing, and that it's going to be a great thing for the brigade this year.
I think Lincoln came out of respect. Respect for the fallen. Respect for the living and the survivors. Most especially, it was respect for the institution, the nation. And I think that's kind of what I would hope you would take away from this.